Well, I am gonna be completely honest with you guys. I have just finished watching the fifth episode of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. That it's even hard to find words because honestly, I was missing this. I was missing the hype. The hype that a lot of series seem to miss in this day and age because remember the hype that was surrounding Game of Thrones back in the days, especially in the earlier seasons. Like, holy shit. Everywhere you went on the internet, everywhere you went outside, everywhere you went, even in your fucking dreams, all you could see was Game of Thrones, which is a fact. And now that feeling is pretty much back. Which is at the same time kind of ironic because, this new series, despite the fact that it's getting even better and better, and its latest episode being fucking amazing. Hell, it's a perfect episode, honestly, in my opinion. Even though it's getting better, it's kind of sad because we're only gonna get one last episode next week, which makes it more, which makes it even worse because, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The the last episode of this series was truly like a Game of Thrones episode. Okay, this episode absolutely felt like, despite the fact that this was only 36 minutes long, it truly felt like an episode that was worthy of a Game of Thrones series. And I cannot urge people more than I already am to go and watch it. Especially if you love the earlier season of Game of Thrones, because this latest episode captures everything. I have went through every single kind of emotion during the episode. I was laughing at some point. I was smiling at some point. I was borderline crying at some point. Okay, I didn't cry, but the emotions, there were so many emotions coming towards me and in my eye and everything that it's even hard to find words right now. The story is unfolding in such a nice way, which just makes the ending of Game of Thrones even sadder because this whole series right now just proves that if you have a finished source material before you try to make a series out of it, then you are most definitely gonna succeed, especially if the story is coherent and if it's put together nicely, which kind of happened with Game of Thrones up until the end of season 6, because after that, whoop, it went downhill. But right now, this series, oh my god, I am so invested. I absolutely love Duncan's story so far, and the way it has built up until this point, because we kind of saw Dunk being this, well, big tall guy who is also kind of a bit dull and dumb, but that's absolutely not the case in my opinion. He just has a lot of trauma, and we see that in this episode. Because we actually get a look into his younger days, because he's on the battlefield right now, which was such a nice fucking choreographed scene. It was done so well, both cinema, both from a viewer standpoint and from a bit of a more critical standpoint, because I honestly couldn't even find a single issue with it. Like, I honestly completely justified. I completely understand the 9.8 rating of the episode on IMDb. Honestly, the episode was a 10 out of 10. It's genuinely so hard to find an episode that even matches this. Even from Game of Thrones, there's not a lot of episodes that I would consider personally to be absolutely perfect. However, there are a few. Like, for example, the Battle of the Bastards was absolutely perfect. That one was nice. The Reigns of Castamere was obviously the highlight of the entire fucking series. It was amazing. And this episode of this series matches those in not just the visual aspect, but also a choreographical aspect, a storytelling aspect, the whole look, everything. Fucking go and watch it. I cannot put it into words. You should go and watch this series. And honestly, I'm out here preaching it like I am a Jehovah's Witness and going from door to door, like, hello, hello. Have you seen the latest Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode? Because you should, okay? Hello, hello. That's what I'm doing right now, okay? Even with friends. Uh, Immediately after watching the episode, I hit up one of my friends who knows absolutely a lot of fucking things about Game of Thrones, even from the books, and he was praising it as well. Like, this episode is peak. Okay, I don't want to spoil a lot, but as I said, we kind of get a view into Duncan's early days while he is up on the battlefield, and we see that he is about to die a lot of times, a lot of fucking times. But obviously, the guy who is more than 2 meters tall is gonna be hard to take down, which is which is absolutely not a surprise to anybody. I'm pretty sure, because obviously nobody was gonna expect him to go down. And after this episode, you kind of see why he has such an important role in the story of how Game of Thrones unfolds. And if you actually watch the series a bit more attentively than just simply binge watching it or just simply letting it play while you're on your phone and just, I don't know, fucking playing Subway Surfers, if you actually pay attention to some details, you will see that it's tied together so nicely in the story that has already been written so nicely. Like, for example, you know how it's, if you have seen up until this point, then Dunk is fighting obviously the Targaryen guy. I honestly forgot his fucking name, who basically accused him. But Baylor is also there, and towards the end of the episode, we kind of see that Baylor has had how do I say it? A mishap happen to him, which was hinted at in the previous episode by another character. And it was foreshadowed in such a nice way that honestly you wouldn't even get it. If you knew nothing about the books, if you just saw the episode as it is, then you wouldn't even think about it. Like, oh yeah, sure, a dragon is gonna fall on Duncan and he's gonna survive, but the dragon is not. Huh? What could that mean? Is he gonna fight the dragon? No, of course he's not gonna fight the fucking dragon because the dragons are already dead in this series. Because we are already, like, I don't know, 100 years after House of the Dragons. Because it only makes sense like that. And the foreshadowing that Egg is gonna become king, which is only gonna happen later on because the story is gonna unfold in a different way right now. Obviously, we only have one last episode left, and I am curious as to what they will show in that episode. And I honestly don't feel like this series is gonna have another season. Oh my god, I fucked up that word. I honestly feel like the series is gonna have another season. Because honestly, why would it? Like, it's based on a novella. Okay, novellas are supposed to be short. And the series is supposed to be short. We are supposed to be seeing why Duncan was such a huge influence on the whole story of the Seven Kingdoms, because that's kind of how he's represented in the books and or the novellas, the stories. I don't even know what to fucking call it anymore. But anyway, I honestly don't want to spoil it. I just simply wanted to praise it. Okay, like, I am out here glazing it. I am the one who is putting the white coating on the fucking donut, okay? It's me. I am the guy. I am out here yoinking. No. I am not gonna talk about that because that is weird. So if you managed to watch this video or even just clicked on it, go and watch the episode. Okay? Because this episode, as I said before and as I keep saying, has truly had me looking like I was experiencing Game of Thrones yet again. Don't get me wrong, my Game of Thrones is not my all-time favorite series. Absolutely nothing is gonna be able to top The Sopranos for me, because honestly, that's chef's kiss, as it is. Even though the ending is fucked up there as well. HBO really likes to mess up the ending of its most popular series, it seems, which is funny. Anyway, go and watch it. Just go and watch it. Fuck it. Just go and watch it. I'm gonna end the video. Go and watch it. Bye.